Hi YouTube. Today I thought I would do the Know Your Needleworker tag. This tag was started by Whimsy Daisical, and I will link the original video in the comment box below. So I'll just get right to it. Where do you live? I live in England, in the county of East Sussex on the south coast. I live in a town called Eastbourne, which is about half an hour's drive away from Brighton, if anyone knows Brighton. Um, yeah, it's good. It's good here. We Eastbourne normally gets called God's waiting room because we have a lot of elderly people who live here. In the summer, we have loads of like benches along the promenade and the pier, and you just see all the benches are filled up with elderly people all summer. So you can kind of see where we got that nickname from. Recently someone set fire to the pier, or well, it's believed someone set fire to the pier. I think they're currently investigating whether it was an electrical fault or arson. But we're all very sad. But the firefighters managed to put it out, and they are currently rebuilding, so that's good. The pier is kind of like our iconic landmark. We're not famous for much else. If anyone's seen the film Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging, that was filmed here. I've never seen it, but I know it was filmed here. And we also have Beachy Head, which is like the #1 suicide hotspot in the UK. So, sorry about my arm, it's twitching. So we're famous for those kind of things. Oh, I know the hills around Beachy Head were used as a backdrop in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, so that's quite cool too. But aside from that, we're not really famous for anything. So yeah, that's where I live. And probably where I will live for a lot more time. Me and my partner want to move to Winchester eventually, which is where we went to university. Winchester used to be the capital of England before London, so that's always cool. It's a nice town. There's a huge statue of King Alfred, I believe. Is it King Alfred? It must be King Alfred. For some reason I want to say King Arthur, but I think it's King Alfred. So it's going around his time that Winchester was the capital. I'll stop rambling now. Yeah. What do you do for a living? I currently work in retail in a store that sells baby bits and stuff. And like pushchairs and car seats. So which drives me nuts when I'm out and about, because I look at pushchairs and I know what the make is, and I see people with their car seats, and when they're doing it wrong I want to go over and correct them. So I try not to do that because that's rude. But that's kind of what I'm doing to pay for what I really want to do. I'm currently working on a PhD in creative writing, as I'm sure people who watch my channel know already. My thesis is the portrayal of transgender in contemporary and adult fiction. I have to write a young adult novel and also write a critical commentary on the current market and how the books that are currently published have informed my novel, and so on and so forth. So it's really interesting. I have big interest in gender and gender roles and how our gender identities are formed and such like. I know working in a baby store, I get so frustrated with people who are like, oh, Do you have any pink lawnmowers? Because we can't possibly give our daughter a blue lawnmower. Stop, people, it's ridiculous. So yeah, and I'm hoping that once I get my PhD, I can become a lecturer in creative writing. I would love to teach. So that's a dream at the moment. I'm currently on a break from studying because of my health problems at the moment, and I haven't been at work since the beginning of August for the same reason. But you know, that's what I do normally when my body is not playing up. So I don't think I do anything else. No, that's it. Do you have any children? I don't have any children. I would like to have children one day. When I move out of home and move in with my girlfriend, and then we will be looking into IVF and adoption and fostering and that sort of thing. So one day I will have children. Although we have spoken about it, and if whatever's going on with my body is long term and will mean that I won't be able to do at least half of the work raising a child, then we probably will not have them, which will make me very sad. But I understand it wouldn't be fair to bring a child into the world and not be able to look after them. So here's hoping that one day I will have children. Do you have any pets? Yes, as a family we have two tortoises. They are probably over 100 years old. We don't really know because they used to belong to my great aunt, and then they sort of have been passed down to us. We have a male and a female, and their names are Joey and Tawny. Yes, just the tortoises. We used to have fish and a hamster and guinea pigs, but we just have the tortoises now, and they will continue living on forever, it seems. But they're really good. They race around the garden. If you sort of believe everything you hear about tortoises, you'd think they're really slow, but actually, Joey, when he wants something, he can move at speed. Once my ex left the gate open to the garden, and he was halfway up the street before we knew about it. So he's speedy, very speedy. What are your other hobbies besides? I believe Whimsidaisical wanted us to list 3 hobbies. The first hobby, aside from stitching, I have is reading. According to my Goodreads to be read list, and added to my read list, I have nearly 2,000 books. I have 3 huge bookcases, and they're all double stacked, and then on top of the bookcases there's a big pile of books. So let me show you what I mean. See, that's the top of the bookcase, and that is a huge pile of books on top of the bookcase, and that's one of them. Sorry if that made you motion sick. What was I saying? Yes, reading. I love reading. Last year I read 75 books, and the year before I read 100 books for Goodreads challenges. This year I've read 20 books so far, because whatever this stupid thing is, it means my concentration is terrible and I can't read very well. And it's annoying because I love reading, but never mind. I'm currently reading, what's the book called? I don't know where it's gone. I'm currently reading The Blood of Olympus by Rick Riordan. That's probably not how you say his name. But it's the last book in the Heroes of Olympus series, and I'm loving it so far, and I'll be sad when I finish it, but also happy because I want to read and find out what happens. But I'll be sad because there will be no more Percy Jackson books. The second hobby I have aside from stitching is writing. Obviously, I'm currently taking part in NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. I am about 10,000 words behind, but never mind. I'm slowly but surely getting there. I have written almost 10,000 words this month, so to be honest, that is an achievement in itself, and I would have been happy if I'd hit 10k on its own. Hang on a minute, my mother is calling me. Sorry about that. My other hobby is gaming. I last month bought myself an Xbox One because I thought if I'm stuck at home, I might as well treat myself so I can play. I've got a 360 as well, and I've got Steam, and I've got a PlayStation 2 and a PlayStation 1 and a Wii and a Nintendo DS, and a Nintendo 3DS and a Game Boy Advance and a Game Boy, and I still play all of them. So yeah. That is my gaming setup. I have my TV and my Xbox One and my Xbox 360 and a Kinect and a crab that lives on the Kinect, and I have lots of games to play. I am currently playing Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and I'm also playing Outlast on the Xbox One, which is slightly terrifying, but that's fine. With the Assassin's Creed, I'm trying to catch up on the series, but it's slow going. I can't play very much at the moment because my concentration's shot, but I try and play a little bit every week, so as not to let my purchase go to waste. I'm also playing Fantasy Life on the 3DS and Pokemon X. I had to think about that for a moment. There's a lot of Pokemon games. And Harvest Moon. So if you like any of those, then please let me know in the comments. Or if you're a gamer, tell me what games you enjoy. And I always could use recommendations. And my brother thinks I should start a gaming channel, but I don't know how to make the stuff on TV come up on the computer, and I don't know, so that probably won't happen. So yeah, I think I've rambled long enough about my hobbies now, so I will be quiet. What is your favourite movie? This is a hard question. I'm not very good at choosing favourites. I think if I have to choose, my favourite film at the moment is probably Tangled. Also Enchanted. Watched that the other day. And remembered just how much I enjoyed it. And also The Emperor's New Groove and Mulan. So yeah, pretty much Disney, although I really didn't like Frozen. So sorry to anyone who did like Frozen, but I really didn't enjoy it. As far as non-Disney films go, I can't think of any. Yeah. But I don't really watch a lot of films, to be honest. So yeah, Tangled. What is your favourite television show? I don't watch TV very much. To be honest, I usually buy DVDs, DVD box sets, and watch them. So I can marathon things, because inevitably I will forget and miss an episode, and I'll be sad. But some of the TV shows I've liked over the years, Mrs. Milky Bar Kids got me into Downton Abbey. I have 4 episodes to catch up with, because it's on too late for me on a Sunday. But luckily, all 4 episodes I need to watch are on ITV Player, so I'm going to have a marathon of that at some point, and I will be completely caught up with season 5, and then I'll be waiting for the Christmas special. I hope there's going to be one this year. I also like Bones, which is like a forensic crime thing, and I liked House. I haven't watched season 8 of House because I did not enjoy season 7, and I thought the finale of season 7 was nonsensical. But there we go. I will probably get around to watching season 7 at some point. Season 8 at some point. And I like Supernatural. And I really, really enjoy David Attenborough nature documentaries like Frozen Planet and The Blue Planet and Africa and Planet Earth. And at the moment on BBC there is Life Stories, which I need to watch because I've missed all of them. Because I don't watch TV usually. I also enjoy MasterChef, and there is a series on at the moment, MasterChef The Professionals. I've actually been turning on the TV to watch it. So there's that. And also Strictly Come Dancing. I like Strictly Come Dancing. And I always tune into Eurovision. So yeah. I've watched a lot of trashy TV over the past few months. I've been stuck at home, like Jeremy Kyle, which is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine, and Bargain Hunt, The Antiques Roadshow, and Storage Hunters. Is it called Storage Hunters? I think it's called Storage Hunters. And yeah, so pretty much I watched a lot of things, but I don't really watch. When I said I don't watch TV, I meant I don't normally watch TV, but I've been watching a lot of TV recently, just not TV shows. Did I actually answer the question? I think I did. Okay, I'll leave that there. What is your favourite book? It suddenly got dark, so I had to put the light on. In case you're wondering why the light thing has suddenly changed. This is an even more difficult question than the previous one. In fact, it is so difficult that I have just decided to show you a pile of some of my favourite books. There are other books that I really enjoyed, but I don't actually own because I borrowed them. But to be honest, if I listed all of my favourite books, we would be here all day, and I'm not a booktuber, no matter how many times I thought that might be a good idea in the past. So I thought I would just show you some of my favourite books. The first one is The Tiger's Wife by Taya Obrecht. Can't really explain this one without spoiling it. But it's about a woman really, who goes on a sort of quest to discover why her grandfather chose to go on a journey to die alone, basically. It's sort of interlaced with the stories her grandfather has told her when she was younger, and a lot of magical realism, and it's about a country that is at war, an unnamed country. But this is one of those books where the plot isn't really that important. It's sort of, you kind of have to experience this one for yourself. It won't be to everyone's taste. I know on Goodreads that there is a lot of 1 and 2 star reviews, and there are a lot of 5-star reviews. It's one of those books that you have to be in the mood to read, and you have to go in not expecting a brilliant story. It's more, I came to the conclusion that this is a book about death and the different ways that people deal with death and sort of what death means. It's beautifully written. I love the way that Taya Brett writes, and I will be reading more books by her. This is her debut novel. I'm not sure if she's written anything else since, but I read this one for advanced fictional writing at university, and it's not very often when I read a book for class and I actually enjoy it. So this one, I hesitate to recommend it because it's such a divisive book, but I really enjoyed it. And it's one of those books that has like a paper cover. It's hardback. But instead of like the shiny dust jackets you get, it's got the one that's textured like paper, and it's lovely. And I love it. So there's that one. Next one is Beautiful Music for Ugly Children by Christine Crone Mills. This is one of the books I'm reading. I've read for my PhD. It's about a transgender guy called Gabe, birth name Elizabeth, and he is a radio DJ. And when he's a radio DJ, he gets to be Gabe and only Gabe, and everyone knows him as Gabe. But in real life, it's not that simple. And I love this one. I thought it was really well handled. I've been reading a lot of young adult books with transgender characters, and this is the best one out there at the moment, in my opinion. So it's just handled well. This is not, I don't think, a book about transgender as such. It's a book where the character happens to be transgender, but there's other stuff going on. Obviously, him being transgender has a lot to do with it, but it's not as much of an issue novel as a lot of the other ones I've read. So that's that one. Next one is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I know this is sickeningly popular, and I do understand that the teenagers in this novel are pretentious and they don't talk like normal teenagers, but then my argument is they're not normal teenagers. They have a lot more time to sit and think about the world, and to be honest, like Hazel reads pretentious novels, of course she's going to talk pretentiously, would be like my argument. But yeah, I can understand the criticism of this one, but I did devour it in one sitting, so I don't know. There's that one. Next one is, I promise there's not that many more of these, Unbreakable by Kami Garcia. There's a lot of glare on this one. Shiny. I actually won this one in a Goodreads giveaway, and I wasn't going into it. I wasn't entirely sure I'd like it, and it has a lot of parallels with the TV show Supernatural. And having watched Supernatural, I did notice that. Like, there's two brothers that she's in a little bit of a love triangle with, and they fight ghosts and stuff. But it sounds lame when I say it like that. But no, I really, really enjoyed this novel, and I got the sequel a couple of months ago, but I haven't been able to read it yet. But I'm hoping that it'll be as good as this one is. If you're looking for something with a not so annoying heroine, as quite a lot of young adult novels have annoying heroines, she's good. She's much less annoying than a lot of the ones I've read. So, Supernatural, as in not the TV show, as in, you know, supernatural beings, ghosts, demons, scary prisons, scary haunted houses. Yeah, give this one a go. I haven't read Beautiful Creatures by Kami Garcia, and Margaret stole. But I will. I've got all of them. I just haven't read them. There's that one. This is turning into a booktube video. I'm sorry. I've got The House of the Scorpion by Nancy Farmer. This one is about a boy who is a clone. And that's probably a spoiler. I don't think it's a spoiler. I hope it's not a spoiler. It's sci-fi, and yeah, I've always loved this book since I got out of the school library when I was younger, and I've heard there's a sequel, but the sequel is not as good, and I don't want to pick it up if it's not as good. I don't want to ruin the memories I have of this book. Also, look how much the colour has faded over the years from having it on my bookshelf. That's pretty insane. So if you haven't read this one, and you're not annoyed that I just kind of spoiled it, no, it's not a spoiler. I think you know that pretty much from the beginning. Yeah. So, if you like sci-fi and young adult novels, give this one a try. I've got Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. I bought this a long time ago, when I was probably when I was still in primary school. No, I was in secondary school. Came out in 2003. Oh, this cover's coming off. It's about a girl whose father can read characters and objects out of books, and then hilarity ensues. Not really. But when I was younger, I always thought, what would happen if I could read characters out of books? Obviously, it backfires terribly on the main characters, and otherwise there wouldn't be a story. So, but it's really cool when and I know there's 2 sequels, but I haven't read them yet. But I have them. I just haven't read them. I'm a bit terrible at that. I buy sequels and then I don't read them. Especially when I enjoy the first book so much and I'm worried that the sequels will totally destroy my love. Gosh, that's really shiny. Yeah, I like the back of this book. I would cross-stitch that. So, I realise I am not giving very good summaries for these books, but I'm just showing you all my favourite books. Lastly, I promise this is lastly, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling. I love all of the Harry Potter books, but this one is my favourite. When it came out, I read it in a day, and then when I got to the last page, I turned to the first page and read it all the way through again. And when I got to the last page, I turned back to the first page and I read it all the way through again. So I read this 3 times in the space of about a week and a half. After the first read through, I did not sit and read it in a day, but I still read it pretty quickly. And I've always loved this one, even though it's the biggest Harry Potter book. And I think that's why I love it, because it's just huge and so packed full of things. And I was so disappointed when Deathly Hallows came out and it was skinnier, then Goblet of Fire. I was like, no, surely you can write another book the same length as this one. I know people criticise J.K. Rowling for not editing out her stuff, but I don't care. I want to read all about the. I know it takes like Harry like over 100 pages to get to Hogwarts in this book, but I don't care. Okay, I think I'll end that question there, and hopefully, I have. Hopefully, no, that's not what I want to say. What do I want to say, guys? I really like this question on the tag because I like hearing what all you guys' favourite books are, because I'm always looking for new books to buy, even if I don't read them, because I have a major problem with doing that, with buying books and not reading them. I'm like, I will read them all one day. So yeah, they are my favourite books, or some of my favourite books, because to be honest, I'd probably pick out most of the books on my bookshelf and be like, I love this one, oh, and I love this one. I'm going to stop talking now. What is your favourite music? The answer to that is I don't have any favourite music. I listen to everything. Apart. No. Well, I suppose there's some stuff I like more than others. I particularly like at the moment Adele and Blackstone Cherry and Siva and Imagine Dragons, and I want the new Slipknot album because I'm quite into Slipknot, and basically I really like heavy metal and that sort of genre, but I prefer it when the heavy metal bands do songs which have singing for the choruses rather than just shouting. But I enjoy the screamy shouty stuff too. Not as much as I used to though. And I like. This is really hard. My top played music on iTunes is stuff like. Actually, the song I've played the most is Gangnam Style, but I had a bit of a mad day when I just listened to that song on repeat. So that's why that is the most played song on my iPlayer. Basically, I like a bit of everything. I don't really listen to hip hop or R&B. I don't quite get that, but everything else is pretty much good to go. My friends used to make fun of me because you know when there was MSN and it used to show what songs you were listening to as you were chatting to people. My friends used to find it funny when it went from something like Slipknot, a Trivium, to a Disney music or S Club 7 or something like that, and they were just like, what on earth are you listening to? So yeah, I just like music in the background when I'm doing anything really. So writing, reading, stitching. Although usually when I'm stitching, I'm watching FlushTube, so I don't have music on. But yeah. What one word best describes you? I am going to go with perfectionist. Pretty much the reason why I never finish anything, especially with writing or drawing and stuff like that, is because I'm a perfectionist and it needs to be perfect. It's part of the reason why I take part in NaNoWriMo. If I didn't take part in NaNoWriMo, I would struggle to write anything at all because NaNoWriMo forces me to just write and try and ignore my inner editor who is screaming, going, "No, what are you doing? That doesn't make grammatical sense." So yeah. Also with stitching, if I've made a mistake, I will not fudge it. I will unpick everything until I find that mistake and I can fix it, because it would drive me insane. So yeah, there's that. I think perfectionist is the best word for it. I like when I was in school, I got very upset if I didn't do as well as I could do on a test or something. I don't know what I was gonna say. I would have been extremely upset if for like my A levels I'd gotten a B or something. That would have really upset me. So that's the part of the reason I worked as hard as I did, was because I didn't think I could face myself if I got a B. So, and that leads to me getting very stressed out. So being a perfectionist is not a good thing, people. It's not good. It gets you very stressed. And part of the reason that me being sick is so frustrating is I can't do stuff to the best of my ability, and I can't do stuff for myself, and it drives me insane. Like, my mum was helping me fill out a form, and she wasn't filling it out how I would fill it out, and it was driving me crazy. So, oh well. It's like I've learnt to live with over the years, and I just try and leave myself more time to do stuff, because I know that I will take more time to do it because I want it to be perfect before I hand it in. So, lucky I have 7 years to finish his PhD, really. Okay, so there's one more question, and Chelsea added it, so I'm going to do that now. What is your favourite snack? As I said, this question was added by Chelsea and it wasn't on the original tag, but it is an interesting question, so I'm going to answer it. My favourite snack to eat while stitching, writing, doing anything is probably jelly beans, or some chewy, fruity sweet. I really like ones that have sour sugar on. But I try not to eat too much of that, because it's not very good for you to eat sugar all the time. I also really love the roasted peanuts you can get around sort of Christmas time, and they're not like just the salted ones, they have that coating on. I don't know what it is, but it's yummy. And I also really like crumpets. I really like crumpets with peanut butter on. So, and tea counts as a snack, just so you know. Tea is my favourite snack. Okay, I think that's all the questions, so I hope you've enjoyed this tag, and I know I've been enjoying watching everyone else answer it and finding out more about the people who I watch on a daily basis. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who subscribes and comments and enjoys watching my videos and etc. I don't know what etc was for. Yeah. So just thank you. It means a lot to me, and I hope that you will keep enjoying what I do. And I hope you have a great stitching day, evening, or morning, depending what time you're in. It's now getting too late afternoon here. I've been trying to make this video for about an hour and a half now, so I'm going to stop rambling I'm sorry I've rambled so much this video, but you know when you ask questions and then you get all passionate about stuff, um, like the book question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I wasted that long. I'm actually going to be quiet now. So, thank you for watching and have a great day.